hands are like this. That's not good.
Is the NRPC guy coming?
He's not coming tonight.
Oh.
But he's a big part of the meeting.
I know. I just got saw you, huh? But we can still, recreation might be in, right?
I don't
On
say
the agenda.
impact fees, triple them. Done.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Litchfield Capital Improvement Plan Committee meeting of Thursday, September 15, 2022. Would you all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I'll do a roll call of members. Michael Crotto, Chair.
Kimberly Queenan, Selectmen's Rep.
Hi, I'm Andrew Cutter, School Board Rep.
Pete Stone, Citizen Rep.
Marion Colby, Citizen Rep.
Carrie Douglas, Budget Committee Rep.
Okay, welcome. Jay Mankara is not with us this evening from NRPC, although he said he would be watching the meeting.
So I just didn't have a chance to introduce myself.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. You know what, I apologize.
Business administrator for the school and school board rep, school rep.
Good evening. All right. The first item, we do have public input on, for the opening. Is there any members of the public that wish to comment at this time? Okay, I see your hand raised. Dr. Jetty? Yes, okay.
If I may, I just want to clarify, are we going to be able to present during the item on the school presentation, or is that not the case? I don't want to miss the public comment before they can't talk to them.
Well, what do you think? Where's the board?
Number 4 was what I said in my email, which I'm still not logged on, was for this to be a public meeting. You know, obviously it's on here, but it was an internal discussion from the SIP plan point of view, is if we have to present something to the town, how can we do it if the school is unknown at this point? So that was what number 4 was about. It wasn't about having you present. We have somebody after you from recreation if they had anything to present on the agenda.
So our understanding is that we were invited to present tonight back in August. We were reminded last Wednesday by Mr. Carter that the school was up this evening. We put over a dozen hours into preparing the worksheets and all the information that you were emailed this afternoon. So we are prepared to present. And I thought the item number 4, I'm not sure who's deciding if the school is ready by the topic that's on the agenda. The school has a presentation to make.
Well, we had an email chain going around on September 12th that you were part of. And all of this had been discussed in that email chain, whether we should have you present or not. You were in there, we all were in that meeting. Board of Selectmen was also in that meeting, or in that email chain. And we decided until we really know the scope of the problem, because you have a special meeting on the 19th, there was no sense on the 15th to go over anything for the SIP plan. And we didn't get any response back from you. So, but I got a response back from the school that received the email. So, with that, unless I'm interpreting that email incorrectly, are we all interpreting that correctly?
So my understanding was that Mr. Cutter had sent an email suggesting the school wasn't ready. The school board chair, Ms. Harrison, replied, no, the school is ready. We were reminded what to do. The board agreed the other evening that we would finish our documentation. We would share it out with the school board for comment. We presented last night to the Facilities Improvement Committee, and then we're here this evening. So,
Well, I agree. We sent it to the Board of Selectmen. The Board of Selectmen is in charge of the
You were
SIP.
copied on the CIP,
Yep,
right? And
yep.
that was leading to the response.
Yep, the CIP email says, in light of recent events, I do not see how the school can be prepared to present their This is from the chairman of the Board of Selectmen. I do not see how the school can be prepared to present their needs at the next CIP meeting. Until the school fully understands their need, I feel they should not be in front of the CIP. Everyone needs to be respectful of the CIP's times. I do agree that the CIP should still continue reviewing the impact fee schedules and recommendations. Immediately after, or shortly thereafter this email, out went the agenda with the school not on it. I mean, this is I believe the email that you're referencing.
The
as
12th.
well.
Yeah, that was on the 12th.
So the discussion was there, whether you agree with it or not. It's the Board of Selectmen,
I read that as a select board member weighing in.
it's the Select Board's committee. This committee is under the purview of the Select Board.
Right, we're advisory, we can only, I mean, the Board of Selectmen, we make recommendations to them, but we can't really.
And I sent that as a member here. I'm also, the representative. I sent it to the chairman and the vice chairman and said, what do you think? That's in that email chain. And that was their response, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Well,
the chairman of the Board of Selectmen and the vice chairman said, we don't know the scope of the problem, to wait until after your special meeting before we invited you back after the 19th to come back at that time.
So it might be more prudent, I think, if obviously there's a meeting on Monday, to maybe address the public has the opportunity at that time to comment and so forth and have the discussion. And then at that point, you could certainly, if whatever the will of the select board or whoever is that, they're comfortable having the school present, then maybe you can present. But until that time, I think we have to address the issues that are currently, and I guess it's a serious issue, from what I understand. So I think that needs to be sort of addressed first before going forward. So.
Can I seek some clarity then?
Mm-hmm.
So 4 years ago, this process began, and a 5-year plan was developed. We're in year
6-year.
6-year plan. We're in year 2 of that plan, correct? We're in year 3 technically, right?
Technically, yeah.
And now we're being asked to present what? Because I've received verbal information that it should be an update to where you are with what you previously presented. So that's what we have, is an update.
Well, there's still future componentry there, right? I mean, because we're 3 years in, so we should be the position you're currently in, what was done, not done over the previous 3 years, and then whatever is projected out for to get to the end of this next 6-year plan.
I think the reality is we can't know where we're going to be until after the big issue is resolved. That's a big tax impact looming over everybody's heads, and until people understand the scope, who knows whether we have to reset your 5-year plan, or if we're in year 3. Are we in year 3 or are we year -12? Where are we at this point? Because we don't know. There's no way of knowing where we stand in your plan, because we don't know where we stand.
Wouldn't given information tonight, though, as far as what has been completed and what is still out there to be completed, help everybody kind of understand the plan in its totality as far as the school being part of the town?
I think we need to respect the will of the Board of Selectmen who asked this discussion to be postponed.
Yep, we want to postpone.
But I don't think it's work lost, right? I think it's work that
It's
should be
just delayed,
presented
yeah.
at our next meeting, and that will allow, I guess, things to settle out or iron out on Monday, however they will iron out.
Mm-hmm.
But if I may, that wasn't the communication.
That wasn't the original plan.
People are saying, well, no, the postponement, if I read the emails correctly, they say, let's postpone this till March. So I'm not hearing the next meeting. I'm hearing it now for the first time. If you read those emails, they say, let's put this off until March. So I'm trying to understand, what is it you're asking us to do?
Well, I think
We have
that
a
email,
5-year plan, and we have developed an update to that. And we have deducted things that have been completed off of it. We are proposing a few ads, and we were told rough ads, not necessarily a solid ad. So we have all that, right? And now, are we doing it in March? Are we doing it in October? Just tell us what you want, because it's very
I
confusing.
think we have to wait until the outcome of the discussion on Tuesday and whenever the books end up, or Monday and whenever the books get closed. I mean, you're asking for a decision of this board when frankly, you don't even have a decision on what you're doing. So until we know what you're doing, we don't know what you're doing. So because honestly, and then the next question is, how did the school board vote on your plan? Has that been presented to the board? Because if it has not been presented to the board, it certainly should not be presented here yet.
We were not told that this was a plan to be voted on. Let me ask you a question. The other town departments, did the select board vote to approve the presentations?
I don't think there's a vote, but I think it's common courtesy to
But did
present
they
and have an
vote to approve
awareness.
them? The answer is
No,
no.
because
Well, no,
nobody else
because-
is in the situation that the school board is in.
No, I understand. I just want to know what the rules are, because
But
you're
the
suggesting
rules-
that we have to have a vote of the board.
I know this is school policy, as I understand it, is that the school is supposed to be internally in agreement with things before they get put forward. Budget committee members can't vote on certain things until there's a vote discussed. So how can you, if your school board policy or your school policy is that there needs to be an agreement amongst your own members, that you can present this without knowing that we have agreement amongst your members? Has it been discussed?
I think at this point, we're pulling hairs.
Yeah, I don't think we can discuss it because the Board of Selectmen asked us not to.
That is my interpretation as well.
I think it's an issue that you may have to take up with the Board of Selectmen, to be honest. They're the ones that have sort of spoken in this issue, and maybe that's the more prudent tact, is if you have an issue, that you take it with the Board of Selectmen and let them decide.
Their next meeting's in 2 weeks, right? Or when?
Monday night,
Oh, that's right.
4:00.
I guess I would agree. I think my only comment on that point is, this is its own board. You set the agenda, they didn't set the agenda.
I understand what you're saying,
And
but
that the only people who've said we're not ready is somebody who hasn't asked us if we're ready.
They did set the agenda, and it was changed. That's in the email change, that email that went out on the 12th. They changed it to have you not present, and that we would have a discussion on, as a town, we have a big piece missing out of that SIP plan. This is dangerous for the town, honestly. We were in a very bad position right now. So we need to, how are we gonna present a SIP plan that either has or does not have school information in it? So that's the discussion we were going to have. That is item 4. That was in the email chain.
But just understand, we do
Mm-hmm.
have something to contribute. So if you want to wait, that's fine. I'm not
I
gonna,
think it
I'm not
might
gonna
be more
force,
prudent.
I'm not gonna force a presentation on anybody, but
No.
I want you to understand, in good faith, the board, the school district has prepared a significant body of work to present, and at no time did the school district say we were not ready to do that. Other people have decided we're not ready, that's fine, but it was not from us, and just to be clear on that, so we'll be back.
So,
at
like
it.
I said, I think if you have an issue that you still feel that you need to present, I would take it up with the Board of Selectmen and, state your case to the Board of Selectmen. As I said, we are only an advisory board. We cannot make decisions for them. So if that's how they're feeling on this, I think that's the best route to go. And if they say, that it's okay at some point, then you're certainly welcome to come back and give your presentation. I know you've done a lot of work on it, and I totally understand that. But at the same time, there is a serious issue with how things are going with the school, and I think that needs to be addressed before anything else going forward. So I think that piece is much more serious, and I think it has to be addressed. So that's my feeling. Now, I don't know, does the board want to vote to recommend that he go before the Board of Selectmen, or just end the discussion?
I don't think it needs a vote.
You don't think it needs a vote? Okay, I'm just asking.
I mean,
We're still expecting at some point that the school would be able to present, right? Because you don't have a
Of
town without a
course,
school.
of
Okay,
course.
So at some point,
But
we're gonna be.
you do
presenting.
understand that the issue
I do.
that's
Yeah.
at front of it, and I think Dr. Jetty understands that this is a serious issue as well. And I think this has to be resolved before we can move forward on it.
Yeah,
That
that-
has to happen.
The email chain on the 12th said anytime after your 19th meeting, when you think you are ready and have solutions to come forward. I don't know what happened about March, maybe I'm late on an email or two, but last I
I think that
knew,
was the beginning of
come
that
after the
chain.
19th meeting, when you are prepared, that you know what the numbers are.
And I think that was more focused on impact on our ability to get this completed and done.
knowing that we're going into budget season and all that jazz, right? But, yep, that part's the will of the board. If
And
we
that's
want
part
to
of-
schedule another meeting, right?
Absolutely, we can
After
do
the
that.
19th,
Sure,
school
yeah.
present, that's
Anytime
great.
that they
I
think they're
would,
ready.
as a
then.
school board member, I'd like to review with the board what's presented, right? Because if that's been done, that certainly hasn't been done with me on this board. And I want that opportunity, please.
That's not what was asked Wednesday, though.
What was asked Wednesday?
You asked us to be prepared to present tonight. And so
Correct,
we,
but
and
also-
I responded that I was going to share the documents for the board to review, and if anybody had concerns, to let us know. So I'm just saying that that's a change in tone or a change in.
Which Wednesday was this?
The board didn't have an opportunity to review that. The board hasn't had a meeting or an opportunity to review that since that, correct? We have not met.
Board members.
Board members have not met.
What was said Wednesday was that it'll be shared with board members, and if there are concerns, to let us know. That's all. I mean, at that point, it was very congenial of, hey, take a look at this. I mean, I'm just saying that we followed through on what we were asked to do last Wednesday.
And again, I don't think it's lost work. I don't think it's lost work, so.
No, I agree, so. But I think that's the best way to go right now, so. Certainly, you're welcome to come back. I just want to make sure that, you know, the situation as it is now, that, you know, hopefully people can get answers and things can get resolved. And once people are comfortable with that, then, and the questions have been answered, then certainly, and if it's with the Board of Selectmen, certainly, we're welcome to have you back, so. But until they, you know, say otherwise, my hands are tied. I'm sorry. So,
Motion to table? And
sure.
move on.
Certainly, you can entertain a motion.
I'll
So-
second.
You have a motion to table this issue, and I have a second by Mr. Stone. Do I have any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, abstained, motion passes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 0, 0.
First time we've had 5 in a long time.
Yes, and welcome, by the way,
Thank you.
our new member, Ms. Colby. I have to mention that, so. Yeah, I think, there's an opportunity definitely, to talk about this, but it's not appropriate, I don't think, at this time, so. And, certainly, if you have any issues, further issues, I would just take them up with the Board of Selectmen, because they're the ones that have made the decision, so, have to go forward. Okay. Approval of the minutes of August 22nd, 2022, and September 8th, 2022. Does anybody?
Can we separate them out? Would that be
Of course
okay?
we can. We can do them separately. So I guess I'll start with August 22nd. Does anybody have any questions about those?
I'll make a motion to approve August 22nd.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Cutter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Queenan. All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion to approve the August 22nd, 2022 minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Abstained?
I'll abstain since I
Okay.
wasn't on the committee.
Very good. Motion passes 4-0-1. Okay, thank you. And I'll entertain a motion to approve the September 8th, 2022 minutes if nobody has any questions or concerns.
I'll motion.
I wasn't here.
Okay, Mr. Stone made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Ms. Queenan. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor of approval of the minutes of September 8th, 2022, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Abstained?
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. Motion passes, let me see if I can do this, 3-0-2. Okay. Thank you.
Minutes as always, Mr. Sullivan, thank you.
Yes, thank you for them. They're very well done. So I guess we've dealt with the section D, unless you want to have a further discussion on it.
No, that was motion to be tabled.
Okay, very good. I'll move on. Recreation is not present this evening, so I'll have to reach out to them, I guess. NRPC, Jay Minkara is not here this evening, so he will be at the next meeting, I suspect. And there's another public input, if any members of the public wish to
But did
comment.
he have any update as to how he's doing? Like, weren't they working on it? in
He
fact?
was working on it. I think he's still working on it. I know Jay is a busy guy. He carries a lot of hats.
No,
so,
absolutely.
um,
I just know that with the potential for some significant development in the town, that as a budget committee member, looking at potentially lost revenue, I'd like to see those updated before those permits get approved.
And he should be at the next meeting, so I'm sure that he'll
'Cause
have some.
Goodness knows we're gonna need revenue, so.
Okay. I'll make a note of that.
He's on the planning board, so, you know.
Yeah.
So he's aware of developments coming in, yeah.
Is there any other business?
I'd like to talk about ARPA and impact fees and that type of thing.
Okay.
Just so we're kind of ready for what the next meeting or so looks like.
Mhm.
Because I know that's a critical topic for the board, based upon board selectmen meetings.
Okay.
So, do we have updated impact fees that the board's reviewing, or what's the ask of this committee?
Jay's still working on them, so we can't really look at anything new for strategy on impact fees.
Well, are there unexpended on the town side? Cause isn't there's an allocation, isn't there, for like fire and police as part of the impact fees? Cause there's town services that get added to
I
that
have
as
to look
well.
at the formula, I don't know, that, it's like this thick.
Yeah, no, I just, my understanding,
Road, homes, right? Do you remember the fire? It must be for the hydrants at the time, but I don't have the answer.
I'm just curious as to whether or not, because in the past, we've had situations where some of our impact fees have sunsetted, and that's always painful. So let's figure, if there's anything that we know is, I'm sure we could find somewhere to apply them.
Yep, I understand. I saw some of the ordinances where they became obsoleted, yeah.
Right,
Okay,
so
yeah,
we should-
actually, he is aware of that.
So yeah, just even if the town knows that, no, we have so many that are expiring at the end of the year, hey,
Yeah.
fire truck, hey, something else.
Right.
Okay.
That,
We'll make sure
just
we
that
look at
those
that.
monies get captured as we figure out funding sources.
Yeah, and then ARPA.
Yeah. You know, we have about $900,000, right, roughly. Last I knew, we can, the money, we can still use up until 2025, right?
Yeah.
So we could still, if the school is, you know, cleaned up and.
But didn't we have to allocate it now?
Yeah, they wanted to prioritize it.
Okay.
And
Based
Jay-
upon CIP, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think he was gonna run different scenarios to see, you know, the numbers, right?
Yeah, I think we had to kind of project what we were gonna use it for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have we been able to put all of the, again, I'm not great on keeping up with all my emails. Is there a list, an updated list with each department's questions with their updated number requests? Cause that would be easier to,
Jay
I could
has
see a
those.
table
Right.
with like, I would like this and I would like that. It might be easier to be
Did we
like,
generate that the last?
Jay's
when we
doing it,
talked
right?
about
Isn't Jay putting it all in his spreadsheet, right?
That, I think that's what she's asking for, is something different.
What do you-
no, I would like the chart
I wanna
that
see
says
it too,
this is
yeah.
what the department requests. Because we haven't because it
For the
hasn't.
ARPA funds or just their general
Well, I think
requests?
the ARPA funds are gonna
'Cause we had
need the first chart, right? Cause some of them might be ARPA funds, some of them might be impact fees, some of
Well,
them
that's what
might
I'm
be.
saying, cause we had that conversation initially when they were, when the ARPA came to us. And then we were soliciting ideas from the department head.
That's why they were coming in, right? To give their
I'm
ideas.
gonna bring in the 5 or 6 things the ARPA money will pay for, so we have it, because it does change periodically. Let me bring in the
Yeah.
current.
No, that's
of
fine.
what
I
would,
just-
you know,
Right.
I was
Right.
just
We're gonna
thinking
apply
back to
ARPA money to
meetings
this
that
or
we
this.
had.
No,
Since we've
yeah.
had all the departments in, we've had their requests, have they been tabulated somewhere? Other
I
than,
don't
mean, I
think
could go
so,
back
because I
through
think people presented
their wish list.
their wish list, and then I think there were still questions about the application of those individual items against the ARPA funds.
Right, I guess if we saw the whole wish list, then we could say, yes, this is applicable, no, this is not, this is number 93, this is number 12. You know, just like, what is
Yeah,
the list?
I don't think we ever got to that
No,
point.
we
though.
haven't gotten there yet.
All right, well,
Yeah.
I think that would be a wise
First, we
next
need
step.
the list, right, which he has, and then.
And then I can break out my
ratios.
highlighters, my colored pencils, and start
I
making
know,
it pretty.
There's a
I think we
whiteword right
need to
there.
get him pushed a little.
I have different colored
I will say,
Sharpie markers at home.
I did watch the September 8th meeting on replay, and, you know, I appreciate police and fire coming in to share their updates. I think the notable part of that is the lead time for a new apparatus has now gone from 2 to 2.5 years, and the cost has gone from, what, $680-ish to $740-ish
Mm-hmm.
in since March. right? And it's anticipated to go up another, what did he say? How much?
5 to 7%.
Yeah, another
just
5
in
to 7%,
1 month.
just in the next month.
And could go higher, yep.
Or
So
potentially after they place an order.
that no vote in March is costly, and we're starting to see that.
Well, I think it all depends on what the avenue is, though. If we pre-authorize, say, here's a pot of money if you find a used apparatus.
Sure.
So, from my perspective, I'd be more willing to say, 'cause I've also been a proponent of paying ourselves for future apparatus anyway, that if we had the pot of money available, then they could say, hey, Board of Selectmen, I see this awesome deal down in St. Louis. Can we go pursue it? Whereas now it's like, I see an awesome deal in St. Louis. In March, can we ask? Oh, by the way, by then it's gone. So it's, to me, they need to have the flexibility to be able to, if you see something, especially now, like, dude, if I see a car that replaces mine now, right now, I might go buy it because I have the funds set aside for that, but they don't right now. So how do we get to them to the point where if they see an awesome deal that is actually respectful and responsible towards the taxpayers, how do we position them to be able to take advantage of that? Because right now, you have to find it, ask for a warrant article, hope for a vote, and then see, oh, it's gone. So how do we get them?
Well, I thought we talked to the assistant chief when he was here last time about having that put in as a warrant article on their end to start that fund.
An apparatus, or, didn't you,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Well, or do you?
I thought you named it the apparatus fund.
I'm all cool with it, but is that, do we start with that, or do we seed money, the one we need now, and start building for the second
it's
one?
both.
I think that's the question. Do you take one and build for the second, or do you build for the first one and hope that we don't need a second anytime soon? So what's the plan?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, certainly, the assistant chief's discussion, that this is not, this is not only to Litchfield, I
Right.
think it's, regionally, there are issues with this, within the fire departments, that this is the same thing that's
Yes.
going on. Certainly, so it makes it more of a challenge, I think, certainly.
Right.
But I kind of like the idea of putting money in to sort of fund a special fund or whatever. to
Preemptive,
do that.
smaller chunks.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even preemptive. It's like long-term planning. You know you're gonna get 20 years or whatever out of a
Well, I mean,
fire
that's what I'm
truck.
saying. It's like you save and then you buy.
You know, yeah, exactly. So just divide it up, like
I also want to recognize Jay and Conservation for presenting together last week too. He did a great job.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
But then the fire department did have a request about the ARPA stuff, so I guess we'll have to add that into our conversation list.
Well, I guess the question about the ARPA, obviously this is federal money. Are there any conditions to that? I never really quite understood that.
That's what I'm gonna bring in next week, because it seems you're safe if you do buy a fire truck, they're not clawing back anything. And I think they almost said, don't try to itemize so many things.
Yeah,
It was very gray.
It was great, you really wanna make a one-time purchase, you don't want it to be over time in case they change their mind, on the laws kind of thing. But wasn't the fire department looking at kind of a hybrid, some ARPA money and a warrant article, right?
That's what
Yes.
they mentioned, yeah.
That's,
But I think that was for a new purchase, right?
that was for a new one, yeah.
My understanding of that was to cover the lead time before the
Yes.
town would benefit from having the apparatus on hand.
2.5 years.
So.
It is.
It was surprising.
And I know that when the police came in, I think they talked about, the issue of storage, I think is their biggest concern, especially with, the handling of evidence and things of that nature. It's, especially, dealing with,
given the nature of the things they see right now,
yeah.
what they're processing.
I mean, so that, I think, for the most part, I think that's where they're coming from, is that really, it's a concern. And, they need that space, or they need the, facilities to maintain that evidence or keep that evidence. And, so it's an issue.
Well, it seemed like they just wanted to, when they look at the last drawing from the architect, to make sure that it could put those best practices in, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was
I
gonna
think
add a
that
lot
was,
of money.
I think that was
to
in,
it.
a lot of that stuff was in that plan.
Good.
Yeah,
Because I remember this similar
yeah.
conversation.
We just had to make sure it's in there,
Yeah, yeah.
in it,
Well, I mean, see if they need to adjust it
yeah.
due to
So-
scope of,
Well, if any regulations have changed, or,
My only other comment or request is I'd like to hear an update from the library, right? They were,
Right.
right?
Oh, that's
we-
right, yeah.
We want to make sure we're inclusive and they have a seat at the table, and based upon their
gonna
past,
pull it together, yeah.
yeah, their past meetings that they've joined, I think it's important to get an update from them.
Okay.
They'd reached out to Recycling Center.
Oh, they did.
And they didn't have anything. I think the only concern they had was the parking lot, and they put that under the highway department, so we're good. We're gonna check if they needed anything at the transfer station.
Why, they wanna pave it? Man, it forces people to go
paint lines would
slow,
be
it's
nice.
good, it's good.
Built-in speed bumps.
It's like when they started paving my road, I'm like, no, people go slow for a reason.
So the library was gonna start bundling things together, right?
Right.
To get to the
Yes.
threshold?
Yeah.
Like rugs and,
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were gonna just batch.
I'll give that to Karen to reach out to them.
And you haven't heard from Recreation or anything, Kim, or?
They're supposed to be in tonight, right?
I thought they were supposed to be in
I
tonight.
thought they
but-
were talking about like Dara and some other stuff, weren't they?
Yeah, there was
Supposed to be.
paving at Dara? I don't know.
The floor has been an issue for years,
Oh,
I
sure,
don't know.
town hall, yeah, yeah.
Speculating, based on what I've heard over the years, I have no idea what's actually on their plan. I would just anticipate that at least the floor would
Do
be.
you have the
some-
prior? Do you have your sheet?
I don't have it with me tonight.
I was just gonna look back on the last request and see if it was done.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know that there was anything material from Recreation. Was there? Dara parking lot, I think, was in there. For drainage
Wasn't there a
and
request for
paved.
painting or
What?
something
We don't,
too?
we don't want the
Something
ice
with the
skating
building.
rink that it turns into in the winter?
I think that was being addressed this year, though, the drainage, correct? Wasn't a
I'm
local
just
company-
teasing, cause it,
I think they're looking at, wasn't it some of the wells were leaking, not the wells, but the.
well, when they paved that
Heads.
beautiful strip down the middle,
Yeah.
it kinda created like a bowl on the sides that tends to, sometimes freeze. It makes for interesting exiting of your vehicle. I would think as a teenager might
I
enjoy
think
it,
it's under
but,
the ground and some of the heads are leaking, or, that's the last I heard of that.
Got it.
but I just know that there's been a lot of comments about that building between like wasn't there roofing issues, or I don't know, throughout, there's been a bunch of stuff. So I would anticipate something with Talent Hall on it, but beyond that, I
I
don't.
could have sworn there was. I just don't remember what it was. There was
Okay,
some
Mr.
request for the
Floor was in
building.
bad shape.
Yeah, it's
Ooh,
floor.
he should,
Bathroom,
a bathroom?
Bathroom, yeah, gets really hot.
water's leaking, they're spending a lot of money on water, so replace the toilet, replace the sink.
Water's like liquid gold in this town, you can't be losing that.
Right? It's true.
So I think that was pretty much it in a nutshell.
Okay, so-
So we don't have well, I guess we have our standing meeting, right, which is the beginning of October,
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
but we don't have an agenda set for that quite yet.
Not yet,
Okay.
I mean, that's
certainly.
2.5 weeks from now, so.
Have the date for that meeting?
It's the first Monday, is it October?
October 3rd.
3rd. Yes, thank you, October 3rd.
Right.
So I'm gonna be talking with Jay. What do we need as a priority, I think? We need the spreadsheet, we all probably should be getting a copy of that at least weekly, because we don't have it, right? Whatever he's typing in over there. We need to get that, because it's everybody's input, right? That was what you were asking, right? So we need that. Bring in the ARPA definitions, so we know what applies and what doesn't. We'll reach out to Karen, who's our temporary town admin, to reach out to the library.
Library, and there's the other departments that also intend to present. We,
To recreation, right?
yeah, would like to get them on the agenda.
Yeah.
Jay needs impact
Even
fees
school.
too,
He needs what?
to get us the impact fees.
Yes, absolutely. So
Right.
we definitely need that, at least where he's at. Yeah, and we will look at the zoning. Some of those sunsetted, you're right, some of the, when we were looking at impact fees. So you want to see if there's any impact fees that are, either already.
I don't wanna know what's lost, because I'll be upset.
Yeah, okay, but I'll just see if they're already, yeah. Okay, or will be by the end of the year, right? That's the
Is the
picture.
door locked? Am I hearing somebody knock?
So, I guess the other question I have is, since we're waiting for some other folks to come back to us, and the school's gonna have to come back to us, do we wanna schedule something and try to get a room now? Since rooms are like, winning the lottery.
Yeah.
I just didn't want somebody to miss out if they wanted to come. Thank you.
So I guess we'll have to reach out to Karen and find out when this,
Why would we have a problem? We're always Monday night, right? Aren't we?
We had a couple of Thursdays.
Oh, because we were making up
Tonight.
meetings, but
Right.
yeah, but,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I
we're
mean,
on the
'cause I
normal
mean, we
schedule,
get-
right?
I mean, if we're even gonna have a shot at getting this done on time, we're gonna have to get these people's information, plus if they're gonna roll ARPA and.
I guess I'm
we gotta
hoping
Figure it out.
how it shakes out, but if departments have, and the school's ready, clearly, but if, the departments have another 2 weeks to get everything finalized and submitted, can we get everyone on the agenda on October 4th?
That seems reasonable, I would think.
And they should need to prioritize.
I keep on saying October 4th.
Third,
It's October 3rd.
the week of the 4th would be the 3rd.
They'll be here, we won't, but,
Well, it's a planning board meeting
and
or
vice
something,
versa,
right?
yes.
I mean, cause once we have the information, there's
I think,
more meetings we need,
we may have to because of conference room availability.
yeah.
And I don't know, is the fire station gonna be available at all? If something happens, say we can't meet here, or we need to,
I don't have the schedule, I'll have to look.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
might wanna just check with that and see.
So this is our normal meeting, October 3rd. Right.
Yes.
So if the school board is coming back before October 3rd, we just need to be aware of a time. Because it's really, we only have 2 technical crews and they have to set the rooms up, right?
Just do the 3rd.
But if they present, they might take up a lot of time, as
Oh,
I'm
that's
saying, on
true.
the 3rd, if you want everybody else to come in the same day.
And
Well,
we
I
have
mean,
a,
if we have.
we have a board meeting on
I don't mind,
the
it's not a meeting.
21st, I believe. Yes, right, we have a school board meeting on the 21st?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll, I think, hopefully, if that can make it into the agenda for that meeting,
Mhm.
that would be good.
So, but if they come up, if the school board comes back here on October 3rd, our normal meeting, you still want everybody else to come in the same night? So
It would
maybe
be a
they go
long night,
first.
but it's,
But I
yeah.
think we're
It's
gonna
okay,
have
they'll
to,
go
I mean,
first.
if we're.
All right.
I would rather have one long night than try to
And I'm fine with
squeeze
that, I
in
just wanna
2.
make sure everyone
Bringing
knows.
snacks?
Well, what do you like? I make a mean chocolate chip cookie.
I'm in.
There you go, done.
Cool.
Okay, very good.
Well, I have one more question. I noticed everybody's putting their items in the spreadsheet that we will stop to get from Jay, but they have to start prioritizing what they want as well. They're just telling us
Well,
what
it'd be
they
nice
need,
to
but
have
we really
their
start-
prioritize.
Oh, it's what they want, but we still have to look, right?
Well, that's the
They
fun
haven't
part
done
about it
that.
is when we get it back, that's the time-consuming part we had last time, right?
Where we
Running-
debate it and prioritize it and
Right.
categorize it within letters, yeah.
So they do an initial
Colored
prioritizing.
pencils.
Well, I think they triaged them, what their preferred needs are, and then I think we adjusted as we were kind of going through our own triaging, because I think it was a multi-vector triage, if I remember
That's right.
correctly.
Because the highway department has a lot in there, so they need to start saying what's
Yep.
a
Yeah.
priority to them.
Well, it's what should be ARPA, what should
Oh,
be,
I know.
and then what could be
I know.
warrant.
Yeah, well, I thought we had them send a list the last time, and they prioritized it on severity from their end, top to bottom. I mean, we
Maybe,
can
maybe it's
re-request that.
worth, maybe it's, maybe the board does its thing, right? But then there's just a sanity check with each department, this is how we prioritized it before it's like stamped. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you want them to prioritize it by the time they come in on October 3rd? Or?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be helpful, because it saves a step in the process,
Right,
but
if they can prioritize it.
I mean, with the folks that have already been here and we
Yeah.
have their information, if they wanna take another cut at it, I mean, they can email that.
Right.
They don't need to represent.
And, I mean, if they can, let us know as well.
I think I understand conservation's priority. That one's pretty straightforward.
Exactly. I don't think there will be a debate at that.
But like some of that stuff, there doesn't necessarily need to, I mean, some of that could be warrant article stuff even, add to their fund, whatever, because they already
It
have a
was.
fund. I'm sorry?
It was,
Yeah, so,
so it would just persist,
yeah,
just restart.
continue on, no ARPA.
But I guess that's just to find out, just to clarify with the departments, are they looking to use ARPA funds or not?
Yeah, maybe another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if they think they can make a sell to the taxpayers through the warrants or through their like end of year funds or whatever,
We gotta go back through our minutes, cause I thought we did part of that already.
I know we talked about grants and stuff.
I just remember doing it, it was, because I think it was before we recycled this year. It was
Could be.
sometime
Yeah.
late
I feel
last
like they
year.
came in with everything and I was like, oh, that would be a good warrant article. Oh,
I mean, yeah,
okay.
they were all pitching, hey, we can burn up all of it, or, whatever. But
Right.
It was what it was. But I mean, it would be nice to kind of say, okay, well, if you had to pick and choose, you know, and just say, you know, just give us your triage list, what you think you can apply ARPA funds to. Because I mean, if we choose to do those ARPA funds on certain items, it might change the priority of when they hit that
Right.
plan. So,
Very good. All right. Anything else?
No? Did we want to set up another meeting, though? You said we did the 3rd.
We-
You have
yeah,
the
we had the
21st for
3rd.
the school, right? And then you said that we have October 3rd. Are we doing any other ones after that? It sounds like.
Well, do we
Sure.
want to,
After.
do we want to look at the calendar? I mean, certainly.
We'll look at the
But
town
I guess the
calendar.
question is going to be, is the room going to be available? That's the only thing.
Just the town calendar should tell us if there's any meetings scheduled. Let's take a look.
well, and should we book post the 3rd too? Because we know we're gonna need probably at least
I can
two
tell
or
you
three.
Thursdays will be tight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So let's go to
but I
October.
just remember the
We could,
timing last
Look at all
we
those
could
meetings.
not do
It's
September
busy.
26th. I would like that too.
Which
We're
one?
coming in
Not
on
do
the
to September
3rd.
26th. That would be much appreciated.
So you want it done on September 26th?
No, I'm just saying, there's a Scouts Court of Honor on the 26th, so I'd really like to make that.
Library.
9/26.
17th is zoning, but that's it.
It was the 26th of October?
No, September 26th.
September, okay.
So if we could not do that, or,
Well, that's a Monday. I don't think we're gonna get a room
No.
in here.
that's, see,
Actually,
look, that's a bummer.
There's, so, I don't know how long the facilities meetings are, but there's Wednesday, the 12th. Because that is a 3:30 PM start.
Let me just check,
It
because
goes
I
to about
have a.
5:30, 3:30 to 5:30 is what I see on my calendar.
3:30 to 5:30. So the 12th, maybe an option.
Try to get on the 12th.
You're talking October 12th, is that what you said?
October 12th, yeah.
That's a Wednesday. Let me just check here. Wide open. Oh, and we have to check Jay's schedule as well, right?
Right, so that could be a potential.
We'll check
So I
with
won't plug
Jay.
anything in until you,
We'll check with everybody on SIP. We'll check with the
Well, I mean, we
camera.
need all Jay's stuff
Yeah.
to start this March. March forward, not March the month.
you can march till March.
We can't.
I know I won't be available the 12th, but if you have a quorum, certainly.
Are you here, Marion, on October?
Yes, I will,
Oh,
but
okay.
that, after that, I'm gonna be away.
All right, so that's,
All right, so,
that's
yes, that gives us
a tentative date.
at least 2 dates to, yeah. Okay.
And usual time?
If it's 3:30 to 5:30, yeah, then we can start at 6.
Like you said, start
You
at
didn't
3:30. I'm
notice
like,
that.
fine.
No,
Third of
it's,
July.
yeah, the
I
facilities,
can't do that.
Yeah, it's true.
Some of us gotta work.
all right. Anything else?
I don't think so, unless anybody has anything else.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I have a
Second.
motion, I have a second by Mr. Stone. All, any discussion? All right, all those in favor of a motion to adjourn, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, abstained, motion passes 5-0-0. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we will see you on
October 3rd.
October 3rd. Have a good night.